right, thanks for staying with us. Happening right now, the hearing for the former West High School principal, Ford White, happening with the State Board of Education.
Yeah, White and his attorneys defending his state education license today. You may recall almost a year ago, White was fired for taking students who appeared to be drunk on campus home rather than calling the police.
News specialist Felicia Martinez joins us live outside of the Board of Education with what they're doing today.
Well, it happened last November, but Ford White has never had the opportunity to tell his story, and now his educator's license is threatened. Well, he's telling his story now, and his attorneys are using a national landmark case, Brown versus Board of Education, in their argument. Stakes are high for the beloved former principal of West High School, Ford White.
It's much, much bigger than me. If you're going to be serious about House Bill 239, if you're going to be serious about ending the school-to-prison pipeline, we've got to do better.
Thursday morning, White, walking into the Utah State Board of Education with his attorneys by his side, says he feels confident about his hearing despite his educator's license now up for review. Back in November 2019, White drove students who appeared to be drunk home from school with another teacher following him instead of calling police, a move that cost him his job and caused students to protest on his behalf. His attorneys saying White took House Bill 239 off paper and put it into effect at West High School, implementing restorative justice for students.
Restorative justice means you don't call the cops for every problem that happens at your school. Restorative justice means that you get down with your boots on the ground, you make community and family and student personal contacts that you can use to address these kind of problems.
Attorney Summer Osborne says they believe forces against White and restorative justice are to blame for his removal, and they believe that HB 239 is historical in much the same way that Brown versus Board of Education was historical in this country over 50 years ago.
It said we have to end segregation in the schools. And just like we can imagine that some principals in the South of America during that time immediately were eager to integrate their schools, but met with local and entrenched politics and forces that didn't actually want them to do what the federal government was telling them to do, we believe Ford White stands in the same place.
While White faces the risk of a one-year suspension of his educator's license, his biggest concern is other educators not implementing restorative justice out of fear for retaliation.
I believe in the administrators. I believe in teachers in the trenches that sometimes have to make very difficult decisions.
Well, the hearing is private, but we do hope to speak with the Board of Education on Friday when it does wrap up. I also think it's worth noting that the three girls involved in this incident, they all went on to college on scholarship. Reporting in Salt Lake City, I'm Felicia Martinez for KSL 5 News.